but it comes back. And it's not anything really fresh or new. Most of us as professionals entered the world of education because we were explorative. We wanted young people to begin to cycle out of the known into the unknown. We entered the career to help others discover. When you have, what I'm concerned about in the United States anyway, teaching ranks, is the fact that most of the people entered the career here, and they wanted to be in an environment that was also here. And the environments are now here.
Yeah.
So what's happening is people who are highly interested in being creative and doing cool things with kids and taking trips and doing this thing are being pulled down into this zone. And what's invisible here to a great degree, maybe you guys could give me some data that would support this. I'm concerned about the morale of the public school educator. Their morale, their emotional. I love this job. It's like, oh man.
So you've got your
Explorative.
your person who's got lots of energy and has got cool creative ideas.
Yeah.
But then there's no support.
Right.
Exactly.
So you end up with a teacher who's explorative and an administrator or a staff or a school board that's down here. And then you got these people that want it naturally, they're up here. And so you start to see them get shaped by their environment. And then before you know it, they're starting to come down this direction and they're trying to become more traditional because they're fed up. They don't want, why fight the fight? So the passion flame starts to, it's gone, That's one of my biggest
energy
concerns.
starts to,
Yeah. And we know, think of all we talked about last 2 days. Where are the kids? The kids really naturally biologically are here.
Yeah.
And actually, out here. The best ideas, the Googles, they're out here. The economic strength is out here. And yet we're keep pushing down into this zone. This is an interesting tool you might be able to use. And in the book, we gave you 2 versions of it. One is a printed out for explaining or whatever, and the next one is these are shaded lightly so you could actually use it as a draw on. If you wanted to use it as a discussable, have teachers kind of position themselves, or just use it as a dialogue point, if you wish. And for yourself as well. And of course, we go into a lot more depth with this. It's about authenticity. No matter where we came from, we are only as authentic as what we do next. So if you are authentically interested in, or have a passion to try and go forward, it becomes on what are you good at doing. See, our whole position with this thing from the beginning was we're not going to tell you what to do. This is stuff we found. A sort of relative of mine is half Sioux Indian, Native American, Sioux Indian. And I'm fascinated by the Native American cultures. And I asked him some questions along the way, and he said, what's interesting, Carl? He said, is one of the beliefs in the spirit of the Sioux is that I'm not going to give you my opinion unless I'm asked. And you think about how many times people give their opinion and they've never been asked for it. To shift a little further out on that, in a workshop I was at in Canada a while back, we were brought to the notion of how much people need to, or in our society, what they call, to use a computer term, download. It's like, I'll ask you a question, and all I'm waiting for you to do is stop talking so I can tell you what I think. I can download. I'm just going to hit the download button and send it to you, whether you care or not. But rather than listening to you and asking you a deeper question that might take you and provide me with more insight as to who you are and where you're going. And then maybe ask another question without downloading my opinion. Is an unusual thing for a lot of folks. So it's fascinating stuff. Finishing up, there are realities, yes, most definitely. We are working in tough times. It is extraordinarily complex and becoming more complex. A favorite quote, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Interesting. Looking and waiting for others is probably not in the best interest of anyone. I'll just wait, somebody else will take care of this. Let them worry about it. The Messiah coming at us from public school education. Our kids are talented, we're losing time and potential. every day we go without shifting toward a more explorative, generative environment or culture, our kids' potential is not getting acquired. And they are missing, we are all, as a society, missing opportunity. Work, speak, act, lead as professionals that honor the generative capacities of each other. We all have generativity within us to a great degree because we're all naturally creative. It's how we interpret that in a leadership perspective. So I did that one already for you, so I'm going to skip past it. You got the bug. I had another 20-minute video clip, but I think given the essence of what we're doing, I'll share it another time. I will, however, point you to a website. I would invite you to download this or watch it online. The website is called TED, T-E-D, TED.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with TED.
Yeah.
But,
That's what I know.
yay. There you go.
I'm not totally
We'll come up
illiterate.
later on too.
Okay. Keith and I were talking last night as we walked back from dinner. He said, Carl, I just want to thank you for the intellectual discussion because there's so much going on at school that has nothing to do with intellectual discussion. I just so appreciate being in a place where we can have an intellectual discussion with each other. And TED is an annual conference that is technology, education, and design, are the three letters. And they have very bright people that come and do presentations and they videotape them. And I would invite you to go to TED.com and watch the clip with Sir Ken Robinson. Ken Robinson. Are you just going to use it this week?
No, I'm not going to use that one.
Okay.
but-
Sir Ken Robinson on creativity and children. It's very, very obvious. And I would love to share it with you today, but I promised that I would trim it short. So with that said, I am at your beck and call if you want to chat, email, dialogue, have a phone conversation, kick around at any time. It's an honor working with you and so cherish the opportunities that you are bringing forward for your students and your communities. The impact that they potentially could have on multiples of people is what our education system is so poised to do if we enable it. And so waiting for others is probably not in the best interest of anyone. It's where do we step, how far is the stride, not stride down, but how far is the stride, and in what direction, and in what mode. It's complicated. It's extremely rewarding, as you know, because you're here, and you wouldn't be here unless you were passionate about this. I mean, it wasn't to hear Doug Yodel by any means. I mean, you didn't come for that. But
Come on, Doug.
so, any follow-up or final comments or questions or anything? And then I'm going to have to be quiet. I have a 1 o'clock flight today. So, Earl?
Well, what seemed really kind of tied in for yesterday was that these kids are texting like crazy. And really, I mean, we've all got computers set up. We're kind of like, we're able to communicate with anybody at any time, just about anything, at any level. And I think that really challenges the traditional hierarchy, which is basically, you used to have that the Western world was run by a few mainly white males, a certain age group, and that was it. And you had very little access to them. You know, it's hard to even get through their secretaries or whatever. And now, well, it depends on how good you are with your computers.
Right.
Because that's kind of like, you know, my game of networking is kind of to get to people, and you know, I'm pretty much at a place